Hey y'all, it's Miss Audrey from Becoming Her Book Blessed and Built by God. And I am here to share with you guys the story time for part four. Okay, so before I get into this, again, this is not to bash anyone. This is not to make nobody look bad. This is to share my experience on losing my dad and what I went through. I can't sit here and speak for everybody else that was even in this situation, what was being told to them, and the things that were being said, but I know what was being said to me. So, again, this is my version of what happened when my dad passed away. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so we left off where my grandmother wanted me to sign a waiver and I didn't sign it. So I didn't talk to my grandmother for a few days after that because I was still a little taken back. So when she did finally call me, she asked me when was I going to come. So I told her that we was going to leave April 6th. That's the date that I got our tickets to get on a plane. So the day before we were supposed to leave, I'm cleaning up, getting everything together. Some people could just leave and leave their house looking how they want it to look. Not me. I got to make sure everything is together, put together. When I come home, I want to make sure how I came home, how I left is how I came home, clean, okay? So I'm cleaning up, still just processing everything, really saying, dang, Audrey, you have to go out here because your dad is passing away. Like, this isn't a vacation. This is not just to go ahead and go vibe and chill with the family. No, this is because your dad is on life support and he's about to get ready to be taken off. So that means your dad is about to pass. So I'm registering all of this stuff in my head. So before I could go take my shower and stuff and prepare myself for our trip, well, not trip, for us to leave, I look at my arm and I have a bruise. Now, in 2018, I had a blood clot. And when I tell y'all, it was in this arm right here, it was like right up in here. And I didn't waste no time because after that last experience, it was a DVT. I was not wasting no time. So I went directly to the hospital. Now, when you go to the hospital, you go late, it takes forever and a day. So I was in there for a long time. So I already knew we weren't going to make the plane because our plane left at 6 in the morning. I'm still there at 12 o'clock in the morning. By the time I got my CT scan with the contrast and everything, it had to probably been like one something. So now I have to wait for all of that to come back and sit there. So I'm sitting there. By the time I left the hospital, it was almost 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, y'all. That's how long it took them. I had to do ultrasounds, I had to do blood work and everything. Mind you, when you go at night, it is super packed. That's why I do not like hospitals, honey. I can only go when it's early, early, early in the morning because I know early in the morning, it's not that many people. But anywho, so I called my grandmother and I'm like, Grandmother, I can't come because I have a blood clot. So I'm going to have to wait to see my doctor so that I can see if it's okay for me to travel. Now, if I couldn't travel, then that's just what it is. I mean, as much as I love my dad, my health is important. I have kids. So she was like, oh my God, baby, I want you to be okay. I don't know what I would do without you. Like, mind you, me and my grandmother was super close. I was like my BFF, right? So I go to the doctor April 16th. And I'm sitting there and I'm waiting to be called. And I scroll up on Facebook. And Lord behold, what do I see? They're getting ready to take my dad off life support. I did not know the date nor the time because it kept getting switched. I kept getting told different things. I kept getting told, again, I'm in California. My dad was in Milwaukee. So I'm getting told all these things. I'm just agreeing with what is going on. So I called my grandmother while I'm sitting in the waiting room, waiting to be called to the back of the room for my doctor's appointment. and she gets the phone to my sister. Now, me and my sister do not have a relationship because I didn't even know my sister existed till she was 4 years old. So yeah, that's another story time. I'm telling y'all. My dad, he was a rolling stone in a way. But anyways, let's get back to the story. So he had I said see, I'm already getting up in the wrong story. So when my sister got on the phone, there's nothing at all. No, hey sis, no, we gonna do this. So I'm trying to really talk to her, but I can tell that it was nothing. Again, we don't have a relationship. So I get called to the back, and I'm literally breaking down. Like, my dad, this is it. My dad was a donor, so they even did the donor walk and everything. So this was it. So that was the worst doctor's appointment. But my doctor, she was so cool. They let me take a minute in there. They gave me water. They let me calm myself. Did the appointment. She gave me some Valium, y'all, because she said, "Girl, you gonna need it." So me and my kids were able to get on the train, but I had to wear compression socks and compression sleeves, and I had to get up and I had to walk. When the train stopped and they said we could get off and take like 5 minutes, stand up, I had to get up. I had to get off the train and I had to walk. Anytime it says walk, I had to get up because she said to keep that blood flowing, anything like that. So she's like, I should be good. So we left the 19th, and it took us 3 days to get to Milwaukee because we got there the 21st, which was a Sunday. Now, y'all, that train ride was not just an ordinary train ride. Stay tuned for part 5 so I can tell you guys what went down on the train ride and everything and all the drama to continue. All right, God bless.